Must have blew a fuse. Okay, are we gonna get this thing cut today or what? Let's try this again. Okay, was that wild or what? Okay, so that was two 2x10s by 8 feet long, and I just cut them to 6 foot. So today I'm going to be showing how I'm going to make a set of ramps. Now I'll be using these to go up into my little bit of a garage I have up in my northern camp in Ontario. And at the end I'll explain why I'm making these, because actually I had the steel ramps and all I've done is just scavenged the ends off. So I'll be attaching the ends to it. They're very simple. You can buy the ends yourself at most hardware stores and make your own ramps just like I'm showing you here. But and I got a couple of carriage bolts to put in. And this is a pretty simple build. The only difference I'm going to show you is a little jig that I make up when I'm making a set of ramps. And that's just this here. Very simple out of a piece of scrap wood. And this is going to go on here like this. And I'll show you how that's going to go and what's the purpose of it. But these are going to be quite a simple set of ramps to make. And maybe you'd like to make a set yourself. You know, for $10 a board, I think they're well worth it. Now I am not going to treat this. I'm not going to put nothing on it. I'm not going to stain it. I'm not going to do nothing to it. So let's get started right now. Well, I've got everything all lined up here. And you can see I've got lots of marks on there, and I just grabbed an old piece of stock roughly around 4 inches, and you can see where I put the marks all the way along. And I got my little router here, and check out the bit there. That's the bit that I'm going to use in conjunction with this jig, and you'll see why in a second. So let's get started. And I'm using my 3-legged sawhorses. You could see how it's easier to walk in between here without having them legs in the back in your way. If you guys want, I'll put a link down below. You can make yourself a set of them sawhorses yourself too. They're very easy to make. So let's get to it right now. Well, there you go. You can see the setup, and I just clamp it on the sides here, and there's enough flex in a little bit of the jig that's on the end here to clamp it to the sides. And let's get started right now. Now you want to go in the direction of your router bit, so we'll be going in this direction here. Okay, I'll show you another one. Got the idea. I'm going to finish zipping these all off, and you can see the grooves that I was putting in there. I'll finish these all off, and then I'll go on to putting on the ends with the carriage bolts. And you'll see the whole idea behind this at the end. So let's get to it next step. Well, here's the finished product right here. And you can see you don't need to have a jig or anything. You can just put your own lines on there and just freehand it. You don't really need the jig. I just find the jig is so much easier and faster for me. But the reason why I've got this particular design is because my garage up at my camp is about 24 to 30 inches off the ground. And when I go up there, I leave these ramps out there so I can walk in and out and bring my mower up and down. And the reason why I got this design here is if it's raining or stuff like that, at least it'll run down. If you were to just put slots going across, they just sit in there and rot the wood out. At least this way here, it'll drip down, and this will give you some more traction. So I've got the end piece here. One thing I noticed, yeah, my carriage bolts go through no problem, but problem is though, when you get to the end, yeah, the carriage bolt just sits up like that. So I'll have to drill these holes out just a little bit bigger, and then I'll bring you back and I'll show you me just installing them, and it's that easy. This is the setup right here, and I've just got them clamped in, and I had to drill the holes out a little bit more, and they're almost the right size for that square part to fit inside. Now if you take a real good look there, you could see, and all I do is I just get one of these countersinks and it'll automatically center it, so when you start drilling, you know, it doesn't go off to the side or anything. So that's very easy to do. So we'll just drill these holes out and we're almost done. Okay, you ready? Okay, I'll bring you back when they're all finished being drilled. I'll put the carriage bolts in and we'll tighten them up on the other side. Well, I got you zoomed in there pretty good, and you can see that these carriage bolt heads, they just almost will fit through the plate steel, but not quite. And that's how I like to have them, so that it'll actually grip against the sides, not just spin on you. So let's tighten these up and let's see if it works. That pulls it in there real nice. There's another one. There you go. Now we'll go on the other side. Tighten this one here just a bit more. Beautiful. There it is. All the heads are all flush. Well, as you can see right there, them carriage bolts are way too long, and I zipped them off and just took my grinder here, just smoothed them all off nice and smooth. But I ain't going to show you how I zip these off the fastest way I found. So let's get to that next. Well, this is the fastest way I know, and that's using the reciprocal saw with a nice blade on the end, fine tooth metal cutting blade. Let's get to it right now. There you go. Well, there you are. This is all done. Both of them are all finished, and you can see here is the an old steel one that I have. I've got two down here in the city, and I'll tell you the story behind how I destroyed one of them. Last year we're up my camp, and I pull in for the fall hunt, and got about 10 inches of snow. So I drove all the way down, and just at the end of my road I got stuck. So I decided to, bright idea, take one of these ramps, put it underneath the tires, and guess what? They just folded up like a pretzel. They were just completely destroyed. You know, squished right out, bent and twisted. I got unstuck, but they're completely ruined. Now these go for about $100, these steel ones usually. And I won't be buying any more of them. I'm going to go strictly with this style here. And you can buy the ends, like I said. These are about $10 each for each board, and they're so easy to make. Now, will they hold the same capacity? I believe these steel ones are rated like around 800 or 1,000 pounds. I tell you what, I'm too sure if I'd want to put 1,000 pounds on it, but for me, I'm going to go with the wooden ones from now on. And with the grooves in like this, yeah, they're going to be a lot not so slippery. And that's the main thing, and of course the water will all drip down. And if you take one of these and put it like this, that's how they're going to go, like down like here. Now, my top of my garage that they would fit there is about another 6 inches down, but that's just fine for me. And I think on a 1 to 10 scale, this is about a 5 project. I think most people could tackle something like this. If you buy the end pieces, it's very easy to do. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you liked this little bit of a project on making a couple of ramps. You guys come back again. If you haven't seen this channel before, well, you're welcome to subscribe. Let's have some more fun. Cheers.